Hey y'all, how's it going? Welcome back to Seed to Plate channel. Welcome to the new year. It is very cold here in Central Texas. We got quite the cold front, and I woke up and I think it was 27 degrees. So a couple of days ago, I harvested everything out of the garden that I knew was gonna get wiped out. And one of those harvests was a lot of parsley. So parsley grows really, really well here in Central Texas, but that's like a lot of parsley. So today I'm going to show you my 3 favorite ways on how to preserve parsley and how I use parsley, especially when you have this much. It's a lot. And surprise, surprise, I actually don't use it that much fresh. So if you don't like fresh parsley as like a garnish, this is the video for you. Okay guys, so first things first, we're gonna get our dehydrator. I have no idea what kind of dehydrator this is. My grandma gave these to me because she had them like laying around. So they're nothing super fancy. I think they're pretty like low tech, or they're like pretty old. But I tried to dehydrate peppers over the summer and it was so humid. I had the dehydrator out in the garage. Bad idea. I didn't wait long enough and my peppers got moldy and I had to throw them all away and I was very sad. So today we're moving the dehydrator inside and we're going to dehydrate parsley for 2 things. We're going to just have some dried parsley to throw into like soups or breads or anything that just needs a little like pop of green. So that's the first way that I preserve my parsley, is I dehydrate it, put it in a little jar, and then you can use it for garnish. I'm just not a big fresh parsley garnish kind of gal. And then the second way we're going to use the dehydrated parsley is we are actually going to make an herb salt. So I really like making my own seasonings. I also have some sage that I'm going to dehydrate, as well as some rosemary. So we're just going to make a really delicious like herbed salt that you can just throw onto anything. So those are the first 2 ways that we're going to preserve our parsley, and then we're going to make a chimichurri together, which chimichurri is this really awesome kind of like a sauce that is so tasty on like literally anything. So when you're dehydrating, you want to try and get these in as much of a single layer as possible, but also with thinner stuff like herbs that have like really, really light leaves. You can afford to overlap a little bit, but we might have just a whole dehydrator full of parsley. Okay guys, we have the rest of our parsley. This is probably about 3 cups of parsley, and we're gonna make chimichurri. So I'm gonna put the recipe down below. I'm not very good at following recipes. So I'm just gonna use what I have. I don't have a shallot, so I'm gonna use half of a red onion. I should have enough of everything else, but really this is like a fun recipe. I don't have cilantro. Cilantro would be really good in here. But you can scale it up and down, add whatever you want, and yeah, so let's finish making this. Okay, y'all, it is the next day. This dehydrator went all day yesterday. I had a bunch of stuff in there though, so that's probably why it took so long, but typically it would take anywhere from like 8 to 10 hours depending on your dehydrator. This guy's pretty old, and like I said, I had a bunch of other stuff in here. Specifically, I had like a whole tray of ginger and turmeric. So I have all of the dehydrated parsley. It is now in a bowl. So this is what it looks like. It's nice and green and vibrant. There's 2 big dogs. Big dog number 1, big dog number 2. So right out of the dehydrator, you can do a few things to get this down to the size that you want. You can, I just crush up with my fingers. That's kind of, I kind of like that, like very homegrown, organic kind of, like you have big pieces, you have small pieces. Or you can put it in a food processor. I broke our food processor. I don't think I've actually told my partner yet that I broke our food processor. Oopsie. You can use a food processor, you can use a blender. It just depends on how fine you want it. I like it to where it's got all kinds of textures. So you've got big pieces and small pieces. You've got a little bit of stem in there, which is totally fine. So what we're gonna do next is we are going to mix up some garlic salt, which is a seasoning mixture that my parents actually used like growing up. Like I did, like just salt and pepper was never a thing. It was always garlic, salt, and pepper. And if you were a Sam's Club kid like I was, it was always in those big McCormick like containers, and it had dehydrated garlic, salt, and then little flakes of parsley. So we're gonna make some good old-fashioned garlic salt. And then we'll just have some dried that we can throw into things whenever. So I have these little containers that I picked up actually at a thrift store. Thrift stores are really awesome places to get little shakers like this so you can mix your own spices in. So I don't have a recipe. I just kind of go based on how it looks. So I encourage you to just have fun with this when you're making your own spice blends. Actually, I do think I want to get some of the finer stuff out of this dehydrated parsley, so we're gonna sift it. So there you have it. We have some just regular old dehydrated parsley to put in soups or breads or whatever needs like a little hit of something fresh. We have some good old-fashioned garlic salt with some parsley in it. This was really an homage to my parents. And then we have some chimichurri, which we actually had on salmon last night. Like saute your salmon, little salt pep on both sides, little squeeze of lemon, little drizzle of chimichurri, some rice and some asparagus. So good. Lana, do you think it's so good? And that's a wrap, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and hopefully if you're in the southern zone, you rescued all of your herbs and all of your frost tender stuff before it got zapped, but never fear. We will have herbs in the next couple of months. Thanks, y'all. Happy gardening.